Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 52 of The Focus, the live stream dedicated to all things 1/6 scale related. This is a big one today, folks. It's a big one. If you are a Star Wars fan, you know it's Star Wars Celebration started tomorrow. If you're a 1/6 scale collector and Star Wars fan, you know what just happened this morning. We finally got a C3PO. Not a kind of prequels or sequels or a sideshow or a really hard to find, really expensive Tamashii Nations. An actual Hot Toys original trilogy C3PO. What a time to be alive. We also got a Vader, but in other news, water is wet. We all knew when Hot Toys announced that 40th anniversary logo and said that they were basically going to go doing 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi figures. Immediately in my head anyway, I thought, oh, we're going to get some version of Vader. We're going to get some version of a Boba Fett. We're going to get at least one Luke. And then the rest, will be what they will be. But it did actually seem like we were going to get a C3PO, and we're more than likely going to get an R2-D2. Really excited today, folks, because I'm on holidays. I've had a good day. Hot Toys have had a really, really good week, and I am going to Star Wars Celebration tomorrow, and I get to see, hopefully, some people in the chat, some collectors, and some 1/6 scale collector YouTubers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Lael and Calvin and Ben the Attention Seeking Geek and Reviews with Rich and Peter and James T. Keegan. And I'm probably leaving people out, but I'm basically really, really looking forward to it. So what's coming up on this particular live stream really, really quickly. By the way, I've got to give the warning, folks. There's only one person in charge of your work. There's only one person in charge of your wallet. There's only one person in charge of your collecting. So please do not allow yourself to be influenced. But this live stream contains copious amounts of FOMO enabling and hype. Watching this may result in pre-ordering, loss of funds, and significant other. You have been warned. Okay, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to 1/6 Figure Focus and follow at 1/6 Figure Focus on Instagram. All right, let's take a look at what's coming up. We are not going to be talking about any of these people on the screen. I'll outline the new videos on my channel, new live streams and upcoming streams. Today is going to be a very, 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 very busy day for me because I just made a video on C3PO, just made a video on Vader, and I have to edit them after this live stream. This live stream is only going to go for maybe about an hour. Then I'll go away and edit those videos and pop them up there on C3PO and Vader. And then later on tonight, to mark the eve of Star Wars Celebration 2023, which kicks off in London tomorrow for Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, I'll be doing a live stream later on at 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. It's Irish and English time. That would be, let me do the maths here, it should be 4 p.m. New York or Eastern time and 1 p.m. West Coast. All right, so we're going to be talking about C3PO and Vader in this particular live stream. Just a few videos that are live on my channel now. We've got the review, finally, for the Inert Joker or the Rooted 2-pack. That's up there live. We have this video here, this parody video. You know the phrases, we all use them. I am guilty. This is the 4th in a series of Shit Collector Save video, and I am definitely guilty of saying some of the phrases in all the episodes. Just a bit of fun, folks. My thoughts on this D100 Iron Man, Jesse, Ultron, Kang. Sorry, I think I fell asleep there. Wenwu, Ravage, which is the mech, what's it, Mech Wars, Black Panther, basically an Iron Man amalgamated with a Black Panther and Transformers. This Clone Pilot was a great way to start off the week. This one will be coming home, just a question of when. I'm going to wait, see if I can get this on discount. And of course the updated head sculpts, which all look phenomenal. These are live streams that are now live on the channel. My first in-hand impressions of the Inert Joker when I got it. Basically, this was last week, how I kind of dodged a bullet on all these announcements. I have no interest in these announcements or announcement releases. Although, like in fairness, some of them look good. That Ultron looks amazing. But anyway, if you're at a loose end, you want something to watch, maybe you go back and you'll hear my thoughts on them. Then this is a live stream that went live just a few days ago on my channel, basically about the updates to these particular sculpts, which, gotta say, it's Hot Toys on their A game. This is what you're watching right now. This is a great way to kick off the 40th anniversary, or the 40th anniversary Hot Toys line, which officially really kicked off today, and of course Star Wars Celebration, which is tomorrow. And this later on today, this is, like I said, this is the Celebration Eve, Star Wars Celebration 2023, Star Wars Celebration 23. Just very excited about tomorrow, and this is just a live stream just to kick that off and maybe anticipate through a Hot Toys collector lens, what kind of announcements are we expecting? Because like we've got the Vader and the C3PO, which we're here to talk about now, but what other Star Wars Hot Toys 1/6 scale or quarter scale or whatever announcements are we expecting? You know, we've got Vader, we've got the C3PO, and I imagine we're going to delve into then what else may or may not be dropped. All right, so we're going to address some of the chat here. We got Danny Boy says, "Hola, Renz Talentino, the talented artist, is in the house. Good afternoon from California. I was just about to ask you where you're from. It's a very Irish sounding username you have there. Am I coming through loud and clear? You all good? 16 Shape says, "Hey all, and I'm again upset that they got the face mask wrong again, but I might get this. Are you nitpicking, or is there something specific that they keep getting wrong? Because I would like to know what the gripe is there. If you could please just type into the chat there, 16 Shape, because I'm curious, because I'm a bit Vader blind, I'll be honest. Like, you could put the New Hope, the Empire, the Rogue One, the Kenobi all in front of me, and I'm not. I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference, to be quite honest. So, if you're more in the know, please let me know what is wrong with the mask. I am curious." Mike Fella says, Vader, why do I know that name? My God, yeah, you're blocked for 5 minutes. Talia Meyer, hello everyone out there. Hello to you. Mike says, "That Joker looks fantastic in the detail." Oh, do you know who the Joker is? Have you seen The Dark Knight? Interesting. I thought you didn't watch good movies, Mike. No, that's fair enough. Have you watched the original trilogy, Mike? I know you've watched The New Hope. Please tell me you've watched the other two. That Joker looks fantastic in the detail. It does, man. And like, it's just, I turn around to point at something in my videos and then I just daze out because I'm admiring like just everything about it. Like the sculpt, the rooted hair, which I was skeptical of, the proportions, the tailoring, the diecast, everything. The stand, I love that stand, and I don't usually use stands. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We've been talking about that for 18 months. We're here to talk about what's going on today. So will we do like, type into the chat C3PO or Vader, and you can decide what we will look at first here. Okay, so you type into the chat there, folks, Vader or C3PO. First person to type in either of those names, that will determine which we talk about first, which we speak about. Skillmonger, love that name. Danny Boy, LA, good stuff. Every time I think of LA, I think of Terminator 2, because it's just one of the most badass films ever made. And I'm currently on the hunt for a DX13. And I've got a lead. It's looking good. Looking forward to it. Lucky is here, and LED light up is tight. Oh, that's the electricity effect. Okay, so what do you want to look at? C3PO or Vader? You decide. Now, I'll just get this lined up. Come on, folks. First person to type in C3PO or Vader determines which one. Oh, Alan is here. So focus. I'm planning on watching Empire for the first time this weekend. Well, at least you're learning. Alan, 6 scale gallery. I did. I got 2. This is the second one. It's a bit cold now, but I use soy milk, so it's like it doesn't really make a difference if it goes cold. So yeah, that's the second one. That's why I'm buzzing, Alan. That's why I'm buzzing. And the sun's shining outside. I had a good run today. This came in today. That is a CCFL. Return of the Jedi, or Mando, because let's face it, the lightsaber that Luke Skywalker used in the last season, or the last episode of season 2 finale, was a Return of the Jedi green lightsaber, and this hilt from Return of the Jedi, this looks beautiful. So I got this from Art15 Custom. I will do a review in it. I just quickly unboxed it because I was very excited. I plugged it in and lit it up, and there's a remote that goes with it, and I'm really excited about this. So it just, you can see, I'll actually show you here because I think this is interesting, because I always see these things on people's shelves and I'm like, how does it work? How do you hide the wires? How do you turn it on and off again? So this one, some of the companies make you or ask you to send off the lightsaber hand And I didn't want to mess with it because, well, I don't have Luke in hand yet. I have it on order. I just have to pull the trigger on it. But I want him with the blade. I do want him with the blade. I have a vision in mind. So I ordered this, and it comes with this thing here. And you can actually fit 2 of these CCFLs here. So if you have like, you can hide this in the background. There's a little chip on that, is there? Oh no, it's not. It's okay. It's just a little bit of plastic. You can obviously hide this. This thing is long enough that if you're strategic, you could hide this maybe down the back of the DTOFs or something like that. Plug in a second one there. And that connects into something like this. And that connects into a standard plug. So you could power 2 of these. Well, at least that's the plan anyway. Using this. It'd be handy for an Ahsoka because she has 2 blades, and they actually do. So Art 15 custom. So I just clicked it on and off so I could, there's a little remote as well, which clicks it on and off, which I think is pretty cool. So you can just sit in there, click it on, and then the lightsaber go on. It's just simple. It's a simple nerdy things in life. So really excited about that. Mando Luke, like, is on the way, but I haven't actually paid for it yet, but it will be. So that'll be interesting because then I'll review on Mando Luke and do a separate review on that, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just psyched about it. So I'm in a great mood. Lucky says Vader, so does Talia. Everyone wants to talk about this. Vader 1/6 shape. Mostly the dome, the angle on the tusks. The face looks smushed in. The eyes look bug eyes again. Every other version of Vader that isn't Empire Strikes Back or this one looks as good as the on-screen counterpart. Yeah, I gotta say, I think the way I'm looking at this 1/6 shape is ignorance is bliss. So I look at that and I just look at it and go, this looks amazing, and I can forgive those little things, to be honest. I don't think it looks bug-eyed though. Sorry, you're talking about the helmet, aren't you? Sorry, you're talking about the helmet. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the helmet actually. I hope I don't see what you pointed out now, because then maybe I won't be able to unsee it. Don't ruin this for me, 1/6 shape. Let me be ignorant. Yeah, ignorance is bliss sometimes, but thanks for that input. You're obviously a Vader expert. I definitely am not a Vader expert. I'm Vader blind. Cold coffee is all good. It's basically like warm beer. You drink it for the alcohol. Cold coffee, you drink it for the caffeine. It's all coming up Millhouse. Absolutely. Good day for fellow collectors. My nemesis. The 12-inch Moose Dream. The owner of the 1989 Batwing. I'm so jealous, but actually, this just looks amazing. I don't think I'll ever be able to introduce you 12-inch without kind of saying the owner of the 89 Batwing. These announcements today have me hyped. You and me both. Straight fire from Hot Toys. Toy News Daily. Star Wars officially has died with the gasp after the last Mando. So sad what it's become. I'm going to agree and disagree. Okay. The last episode of Mando was pants. I don't care who Lizzo is. I like Jack Black, but I don't need him in Star Wars. And yes, Christopher Lloyd is a living legend, but like, cameos don't replace good writing. Drop mic. It's that simple. Episode was bad. Did nothing for me. I am worried for it now because I remember watching Book of Boba Fett and it was like, after the 3rd episode, maybe they'll pull it back. Maybe it's a slow burner. After the 5th episode, maybe they'll put it back. Maybe it's a really slow burner. But now there's 2 or 3 episodes left. And like, if the 2 or 3 episodes left are absolute bangers, does that excuse the first 6 episodes? But look, I don't think it's trash. It's watchable, but there's a significant quality drop between season 1 and 2. That's what I'm saying. Season 1 and 2 had that right balance of action and story and, tore at the heartstrings and nostalgia. I thought it was really, really nicely done and packaged. The quality was here. But I do think there has been a slip in the writing, personally. I'll still watch it, but it is a bit disappointing. Now, I agree that episode was bad. However, Star Wars is not dead. People said Star Wars was dead. Star Wars is like Bitcoin, it keeps coming back. People said Star Wars was dead after the prequels. People now love the prequels. People said Star Wars was dead after the sequels. I do not like the sequels at all. I'm not the biggest fan of the prequels. And we had some dark days. But then The Mandalorian came along and it was an absolute banger. Like, first 2 seasons were fantastic. Then Boba Fett wasn't great, and then people had mixed opinions on Kenobi. But then you had Andor. Andor was some of the best TV I've seen in years. Not just because it was Star Wars, but it was just really, really, really good writing. I was captivated by Andor. And yeah, it's not like pew pew, X-Wings and whatever, but just good characters. And just in the Star Wars universe, I loved it. So I don't think Star Wars is dead. So we'll agree to disagree on that one. Maybe it's just a figure of speech, but you can kind of pick and choose. Like for me, original trilogy, Rogue One, Andor, and The Mandalorian, seasons 1 and 2. Maybe the next few episodes will be amazing, but I think I'm side quested out. Okay, so we'll that's my thoughts on that anyway. But I appreciate your input, Toys News Daily. I own the 66 Batmobile too. You are a fiend. In fairness, like you are the man for the vehicles, man. That 66 is also beautiful. 3 cameos in one scene took me complete about. Yeah, that we can agree on. Like, as much as I like Jack Black, he doesn't. You know what I like about Daniel Craig? Daniel Craig wanted to be in Star Wars, but he was a stormtrooper. He knew. No one else had to know. And I like that. I respect that. The people, I look, as in like, I'm a real big fan. Can I just be a stormtrooper? No one has to know. And I really like that. But the cameos is just like, everyone wants to get their mug into Star Wars lately. Like, it's just like, and I like Christopher Lloyd. I like Jack Black. I no interest in Lizzo. I don't listen to the music, but like, yeah. Agreed, focus, too many cameos. Who shows it again? The guy who doesn't show his face. That's who shows it. Badge Batch was excellent, so I hear. Last episode was a no bueno. I completely agree. Glad I'm not the only one with the same opinions of this season of Mando. I try to bring it up and people want to burn me at the stake. Look, there's uber fanboys who think everything is great. Positivity for the sake of positivity is actually damaging. It is damaging. It's like, someone, like, let's say they're diagnosed with a terrible, terrible disease. Positivity is not going to replace modern medicine. You know what I mean? Positivity and a good mindset will only get you so far. If you say a movie or a series is, I just want to stay positive, and don't critique it a bit, then the show may not get any better because the writers and the directors they're getting nothing but positive feedback and they still keep churning out the same stuff. So there's two things. Fanboys and uber positivity is actually damaging. But then on the other side, like completely negative, toxic, tearing everything down and saying everything's crap can be damaging as well. Somewhere in the middle where we can kind of go, okay, I loved Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I want to love season 3, but it's just not doing it for me for the following reasons. Maybe that's cameo, maybe the storyline's not going anywhere, maybe it's kind of like forced fighting. I found the battle between Axe Woves and Casca Reeves really forced. It was like, you know what, we haven't had enough action in this episode, we'll just make them fight. It was very Xena Warrior Princess, so yeah, I think it's okay to criticize things, basically. Frogman, Star Wars will never die. Probably right. Focus, I've actually seen the prequels. I know, right, that is weird. So you've seen the prequels and not all the original trilogy. They were better than the sequels. You're right there. Now that I'm writing this out, it's weird that I haven't seen the original trilogy. It is weird. This is a question I can get on board with. How are you going to display your quarter scale? Blank screen here, so here we go. Right, so my Wi-Fi dropped there. I don't know, can you still actually see me? The screen just went blank. Dark Knight, well, I haven't got it yet, but there's a space right here and it would fit 3 quarter scales. I've got right behind the screen here the quarter scale Mark III, so I might put it next to that. But I'm thinking maybe I'll stagger them down on floating shelves because I like to rotate things, so I think maybe I could stagger them. I'm actually not sure yet. Floating shelf is definitely an option. When I get the 3 of them, see, I'm thinking about when I get the 3 of them. I'd like one Marvel, one Star Wars, one DC. But I think for the time being, I'll actually just put it here next to the Mark III because there's a space right here. It won't be in the way, and it'll be, I can look at it when I'm on live streams as well. Andor was amazing, and Andy Serkis coming back for season 2. He survived. He learned how to swim quick, did he? I don't actually think Star Wars is dead. Just the day after you just point. Completely agree, man. Completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. Stream is frozen. Can you let me know if I'm unfrozen? Because I'm just going to chat away to myself here. Okay, Tyria says, yay, it's fixed. Thank you. Okay. Coming in loud and clear. Brilliant. Okay, that's perfect. We're going to start. So we will take a look at Vader because that's what people want to look at. We're going to look at this deluxe version, and we'll actually take a look and start with we'll start with everything that it comes with. So this particular Vader, so what we're looking at here is the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Darth Vader collectible figure from Return of the Jedi, the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. Now they've done this a few times before. A few years back they did a 40th anniversary series of Empire Strikes Back. In that you had Lando, Snowspeeder Luke, Boba Fett. I got all those. Then you had a Vader. I did not get that. I do not have a Vader in my collection. The reason I didn't get that is because when I went looking for it, the options were that or the standard Empire Strikes Back Vader, which I believe comes with the rail and the light and stuff like that around. It was to represent that scene where he chops off Luke's hand and tells him he's his father. Or Rogue One was an option as well. And everyone was saying go Rogue One because they were critiquing parts of the Empire Strikes Back Vader or the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary Vader. I did like the idea of having all 4 40th anniversary figures just to complete that set. But more I looked at it, I thought, okay, Rogue One does actually look the best, but it was coming up on like 150% of retail or twice the price of retail. So I just said, okay, box clever here, hold your horses, wait for the 40th anniversary Vader. And in between then, we all know what happened. Kenobi came out and they released an absolute banger, or announced a banger deluxe Darth Vader with the option to have the clean parts, which would stand in for original trilogy Vader, or the swap out battle damage parts, which just look amazing. So I pre-ordered that, and I hear a lot of people who haven't ordered either yet. They were probably waiting for this to see which one they prefer, and they're torn now at the moment, some of them. If I only had to own one, it would be this one here, because it's original trilogy, end of story. Not only is it original trilogy, it's basically the quarter scale shrunken down. You got the head sculpt, you got the chopped off hand, you got a USB lightsaber, you've got the Sebastian, I always have to pause, Shaw, because you know I'm thinking, is it Sebastian Stan or Sebastian Shaw? So Winter Soldier is Sebastian Stan, this is Sebastian Shaw. And you've got the stairs diorama actually appeals to me more than the light up base, because that stairs is versatile as well. You could even have Vader at the top of that fighting Bespin Luke if you wanted. So my point is, if I could only own one, it would be this. But I cannot cancel that Kenobi Vader because I just think it looks too damn good. So what does he come with? So this version is the deluxe version. The regular version comes with everything you can see here except the parts in the red box. So the pieces in the red box is basically the diorama figure base stairs. So that does not come with the regular version. Then it says the LED light up figure base with arms. The arms, as we'll see later on, are to store the 2 head sculpts, the regular Vader helmet and the electrified, that's what I'm going to call it, light up Vader helmet, because obviously then you can pose it with the sculpt. So you can have the pose with the sculpt but still display the Vader helmet and the LED light up kind of Emperor electricity effect damaged Vader, whatever you want to call it. The regular version does come with a base, and it does come with this light up base in the center here that lights up red, but it won't have these arms as they call it, because the regular version does not come with this interchangeable LED light up head, this basically blue electrified light up Vader helmet. So you get everything, but you don't get this blue LED helmet, and you won't get the stairs, and you'll get the base without the arms, which makes sense. What else does he come with? Comes with the head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs. This is based on the likeness of Sebastian Shaw. I always have to pause to make sure I'm saying it right. An LED lightsaber. So it's an LED lightsaber powered by USB. So it's a USB powered lightsaber. It has a regular blade or a swooshing blade, and of course you can display just the hilt as well if you want. You've got all that scarring on Sebastian Shaw's head and face. You got the red kind of eyes, and of course separate rolling eyeballs function. You've got the helmet, scars on the back, and just like that shot there of the helmet, his head from the back. I use it in thumbnail here with his the helmet coming down top of it. And you've got the severed arm because of course Vader cut off Luke's hand in Empire Strikes Back, and then Luke returned the favor in Return of the Jedi. And then on the bottom right corner here you can see how you could use those arms, as they call it, these little pieces that jut out of the stand. They basically shrunk down to quarter scale, included separate rolling eyeballs function, a USB lightsaber, an electrified head sculpt, and this different base and stair base. This is a win. This is definitely, if it turns out as good as the prototype, this is going to be a win. Now I will look at more photos, but I want to address the chat first. Shane, I am still speechless. See you at Celebration tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. If you see me, just come up and say hello. Yeah, that will be exciting. Payden23, GM, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Yeah, I'm getting this Vader. That light up helmet is just awesome. Okay, good stuff. Iron King, I'll be keeping an eye out to meet Shane as well. Hi, good stuff. Looking forward to chatting to you all. Dan in Carbonite. If you're free, Dan, do you want a link? Are you working for the man? If you can't make this one, I'll send you a link for the one at 9 PM later on, which is all about Star Wars Celebration, and kind of looking forward to Celebration and looking forward to what potential drops or announcements we'll get. Toy News Daily, did you see Queen Amidala? I did, but I don't collect the prequels, and it looks okay though. I took a quick look at it. It looks okay. Wouldn't be in my wheelhouse now, but yeah, it looks okay. If it turns out as good as the pictures, it'll be fine. I'm surprised Hot Toys didn't do that one though, because that's, yeah, one that they probably should have done. It's on 1/6 kit. Vader is sick. The Kenobi Vader is unique and should be in every Vader collecting shelf. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, the uniqueness. I like that battle damaged mask. Definitive Vader right here though. I think this is the definitive Vader, yeah. Quarter scale is amazing too though. A lot of people don't collect quarter scale though. I'm getting 6. 3 to rock and 3 to stock. Rip your wallet. Army building Vaders. 32 people in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for tuning in and having a listen. Let us know where you are in the world. Let us know if you're going to Celebration or not. Glad to see. Didn't get a Kenobi Vader. This is the definitive version. I think if you're only having one Vader, this is probably the definitive 6 scale Vader. But yeah, I'm getting that Kenobi one too because I just think it looks awesome. And I really like that scene between the two boys. I still miss a Vader in my collection. I think this is a very good representation, absolutely. Trevor, these are 2 fantastic reveals. Hope Han follows. Endor Han with the long trench coat. That's what you want, Trevor. That's what we want. This is sick. Heading to Celebration tomorrow too. Excellent. Come up and say hi. Then again, I'm anticipating that it's going to be completely overpacked and you'll have to squeeze through everyone. But yeah. Tremble Dust is here. Excellent. Glad you're here. And okay, I'm going to send the link to Dan the Man and see if he can get out of Carbonite and join in. So wait 1 second. 1 second. Dan, you have been summoned. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Just want to be 1 second. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I sent the link to Dan in Carbonate there, so he should be joining us momentarily. So who else do we have? USB. Actually, speaking of USB, I'm going to flick through the photos now, but the only thing about this deluxe version that is USB powered is the lightsaber. The base isn't USB powered and the helmet isn't USB powered, and I don't believe any of the chest control units lights up. 12-inch Moosestream says he can't find it on kit and that he might buy 2. I think the Kenobi Vader is still awesome, especially with that battle damage head. There's going to be a lot of cancellations, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Like, I mean, typically if I'm buying something, it has to be a triple threat. I have to love the character, love the source material, love that version. So Return to Jedi is a no-brainer. Love Darth Vader, love Return to Jedi, love this version, this particular version, this one with the head sculpt and all the bits and pieces. With Kenobi though, like, I wouldn't say I loved the Kenobi show. Do I love Darth Vader? Yeah, great character, fantastic. Do I love that version with the battle damage? Absolutely. But the third part, I didn't love Kenobi. I enjoyed Kenobi and there was aspects I loved. But yeah, I'm not cancelling that. There's no chance. It just looks too goddamn good. So chat. Yeah, look, we're just gonna flick through. Just gonna flick through some of these photos here before we move on to C3PO. So, Darth Vader Deluxe version 1/6 scale collectible figures. This does nothing for me. This electricity effect, to be quite honest, it really doesn't do anything for me. I typically like, what I want is realism. I want a 1/6 scale version of that character on the shelf, and I find that electricity effects like these blue ones here or the yellow ones from Electro, or you know, I know the Doctor Strange things from time to time, they just take me out of it. But again, it's not about what I want, it's about what the community wants, and there are people in the community who will absolutely love this, and they might even like rig it up so that it glows and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool. I mean, if the only difference between the regular and deluxe was this, I'd be getting the regular, but I want those stairs. I really like the just really like the stairs. It's just a good, and even like this is pretty cool. Like, I do think this is very cool, the way that they're doing this a lot lately. They did it with like the Venom bust, so you could I think it was the second Venom, so you could display, I don't know, the second head sculpt or something like that. They did it with the quarter scale Dark Knight, someone mentioned earlier on. You can, you know, put the cowl on, they give you a little torso then, so like a bust, so you could put either the head sculpt on if the cowl was on, or if you had the head sculpt on, you could put the regular cowl or the sonar cowl on it. So it's cool the way you can still display these if you want. I actually like the simpler base though, just the, like this one here with the stairs. I may actually pose them like that because I really like the stairs. I would like to use the head sculpt, even though this isn't screen accurate. He never had the blade with the head sculpt exposed, and he never held his helmet like that, but I actually really like this. I just think it looks amazing. So I'm just going to bring in Dan here. Dan, put out the bat signal, and here you are. What's up?
You alright?
Are you getting excited?
What's that?
Are you getting excited?
I am. I think we're gonna leave in about 2 hours. We've got a hotel. Thing is about tomorrow is it doesn't open till 10 anyway, does it? So is everyone queuing outside before, or I don't really know. I've not been before. So
get into Gatwick at 8:30.
Yeah.
And by the time I get on a train or whatever, probably be 9:15. So I'm expecting to be there maybe 10. I probably have to go to a hotel first to draw off my bags realistically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be there after 10. I'd love to be there at 10 for this collector meet, but realistically I'm going to be there about 11.
Yeah, and I think by the time we go through and everything, I think it's going to, I mean, tomorrow for me is just a sort of mellow day, you know, just taking everything in really. And then Saturday I've got quite a few photo ops, so that's going to be most of the day queuing, I think.
And who did you so when you get the photo op, like I noticed that there was an autograph there's a photo op and then there's an autograph at the table, like,
so basically
what's the difference? Like,
The photo op is a allotted time, for example. So I've got a photo with Kate Sackhoff. So I think it's like 6:30 in the evening on Saturday, and then you go there. Everyone that's put that photo up goes there, and literally I've done them before. It's literally like that, and then you're gone. Probably be really rare that you actually say, get a couple of.
So you don't get to discuss in depth the character development from season 1. It's just.
But to be fair, when you do autographs, you get, depending on how busy the artist is and the actor as well, that you can have a bit more of a chat, because obviously it's a bit more time consuming and you can speak to them. But the only autographs I collect are WWE stuff, like I said to you the other day. So I went down the Star Wars route for a bit, but it's a rabbit hole of everything, isn't it? It's just collecting more stuff and more space. So I've got photo shoots with Ewan McGregor, Katie Sackhoff, Anthony Daniels, and I might do Carl Weathers, because I'm a big Rocky fan as well. So
yeah, there is a bit of strategy there, like, isn't there? Because like part of me is kind of I've nothing booked like that. I want to be kind of free and easy, and I'm just there to mosey around. And there's a few things I've seen that, like, I would like to. There's a collector meetup on the Saturday, and I will make that one. There's like a trading collecting thing, and I would like to go to that, and I will go. But then the thing I wanted to go, the first thing that I wanted to go on the Friday was that collector meetup, but I won't be there. I literally.
So what's that? What's the collector meetup? What is that?
I'll call it out now, because on the app you can go in and see all the schedule, and just you can click on the things you like, and it builds your own schedule for you. So if I go into schedules. Tomorrow, Friday the 7th, collector social, collector stage 10 to 11. So I that would be like, that's where you'd meet all the other collectors, I would imagine, and I imagine the collector YouTubers will be there and stuff like that. Like that's where I'd like to be, but I'll still be on a train,
And you're doing Saturday there for that?
Yeah, so I will be there tomorrow, but I reckon I'll be there about 11. Because it's strange. I was looking at the transit, say, from Gatwick to like the hotel I'm staying in and stuff like that, and even to Excel. And yesterday it was fine, and the day before was fine, but for some reason tomorrow it's like it's not sending me, in the last part of the journey it's sending me on a bus as opposed to
it's Good Friday. It's Good Friday, isn't it? That's the problem, because we're travelling home on Sunday, and that's Easter Sunday, and there's a lot of engineering works. It's the bus replacement service that's going to hit a lot of us. Yeah.
So like,
mate,
my logic,
there's no rush.
Like, so the tube is not going to be working then, or what? Like,
I don't know. Where are you coming in from?
Coming in from Gatwick. So like,
So the Gatwick Express is not working. Is that what they're saying?
I don't actually know. Like, I don't want to get a bus. I want to get the train, because then I can connect from a train to the tube and just head out. You know what I mean? But they it's the last bit of it. Instead of putting me on a tube for Friday, they're putting me on a bus. Then I'm like, it's just, the tube is so easy to use. Like, and I'm worried that maybe if I don't have data. Like, look, I've travelled across New Zealand on my own. I'll work it out.
Yeah,
like, you know what
you'll
I mean?
be fine, mate. London's pretty easy, to be honest.
London's great.
You know what you're doing. So, but that collector meetup would be great. But just on the photo ops, like, I've nothing booked, but I see a comment here from Tyria. This person is she's I think Tyria is Tyria. Tyria, are you male or female? Sorry, I thought it was a female. Maybe I'm getting confused between Tyria and Talia Meyer, possibly. But this is a great point anyway. Got a photo op of Gus Fring. Can't wait to meet Mr. Pollo Homrano himself. See, this person's speaking my language. Yeah.
Because, like, Giancarlo Esposito, I'm a big Breaking Bad fan. And he is, when I think of villains, he's like, he nailed it. Yeah. And then he did a great job of Moff Gideon as well. And then anything else I've seen him in, he's been great. Like, he's
good in The Boys.
Yeah. And even, he was in Do the Right Thing, a very old Spike Lee film. And there was the hip hop show on Netflix. Oh God, he plays a pastor in it, and he's just brilliant in it as well. But at least you're ticking a few boxes there, like, It's kind of like, it's, so it's, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I pull the trigger on meeting someone, because it's just expensive
It's quite
to stand
expensive,
next to
to be
another
honest,
human.
mate.
You know, as much as we like these people, they're still just humans. Like, you know, it's
it's quite expensive. Like I said, it's like I'm going halves with my friend that we make music together. So we're a sort of a little band, you know, like a duo, and we've gone halves on Ewan McGregor. So
and how does that work then? You can get two people in, yeah.
Yeah, you can. So, but he was 240 quid, was 260. 260 was for one photo, but you can get two people in, two adults.
Yeah,
So
that is a bit more reasonable then.
Yeah, and I think like Kate Sackhoff was 109, which is still quite expensive compared to like when she did like Showmasters, you know, London Comic Con. I think she was 80. But I think you're just paying for that Star Wars premium at the moment. But
yeah,
you know, I'm not doing any more this year, so this is I'll only do that. But Carl Weathers was one that was quite interesting because, like I said before, I really like Rocky as well. You know, so.
And it's funny, like I say, like they're only humans, but there is a small Dublin Comic Con. I think it happens twice a year, and it's obviously on a much smaller scale, and it's not just Star Wars. They've got some pretty banging guests for August. They've got Linda Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
Michael Biehn.
Oh, wow.
And Robert Patrick. Like,
mate, you have to have some photos of those.
Yeah, you know, and it's 60. It's €60 each. So for the price of maybe one of the more expensive ones, you know, because like I'm a big Aliens fan. Yeah. I'll be rocking down there if I do that with the T800 box. Linda can sign that, and Michael Biehn as well. And I'd nearly pick up a T1000. Let's just get Robert Patrick to sign. Like that's like, but that, I suppose I like Terminator 1 and 2 more than I like Star Wars.
Oh really? Okay.
That's.
See, I'm a Terminator 1 fan more than a Terminator 2 fan as well. I love the first one. Love the first one. It's a horror. It's like a horror. The first one.
Yeah, I've heard Anthony from Six Gun Mafia says that regularly, and I get that, but just Terminator 2, there's something like depends which day of the week you ask me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
just like the first one, do you know, because it's 1984. It's like it's got that sort of, in a way, like that sort of Blade Runner vibe. Sort of, the music's really synthy. You know, I love the music in that. It's real. It's Stranger Thingsy sort of music. You know, that sort of, you know, sort of dark synth, like electronic sound sort of thing. I love that, and it's dark. It's a dark movie. I mean, obviously the second one's got dark moments, but. You know, thing, but yeah, mate. I would Linda Hamilton. That's a photo. That's all day long, mate. €60. That's good. That's
can't
worth
go
it.
too far wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at in the background here. Rosario Dawson is. I'm trying to see. She's here. Oh, it's the 2 days I'm not here.
She's on Sunday. I did, to be honest. I did think about. I'd like to do it and do a photo with her, but she's 170 quid, which is a lot. And she's cheaper than when she does other cons in the UK.
Right.
And I think
I think I'd forget. I'd lose the ability to speak if I made eye contact. I'd just be like.
But we might see her on Saturday at the Ahsoka panel anyway, because don't they come out and they might come out into the. There's a live thing, isn't there?
You should get the app, because I'll tell you now.
I've got it. I'm just looking at it. It's a bit of homework tonight. So.
But I think if you look at the schedules, you know, you can add them to your own schedule. Like if I click into my own schedule now and I just say for Friday, I'm flicking through here. Actually, there doesn't seem to be many guests on Friday, but like Ahsoka, it says streamed from Celebration main stage.
Yeah.
But if you flick on, then it says Star Wars Celebration live. Hayden Christensen, 12 to 12:15.
Oh, yeah.
So they must come out on stage for those 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, I'll just put that in as well.
Carl Weathers. So I presume that you can go and just watch them talk. Being
interviewed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only for 15 minutes, or it looks like, doesn't it? But
15 minutes of fame, you know. I'm going to address some of these chats here, Dan. Thanks very much for coming on, by the way.
That's all right.
Okay, so this one here actually, does anyone know, were they using the Attack of the Clones R2 in the images? No, they weren't. What I thought originally was that R2 may possibly be the R2 they released a few years ago, which was, they branded it Original Trilogy. It came with a remote, I think parts lighted up, there was sounds, and it came with everything but your kitchen sink. There was a bunch of different things. I think this one's a bit more weathered, it's a bit different. I do think it's inevitable that gets dropped. Kenobi Vader will waitlist soon. Don't sleep on Cad Bane either. Yeah, the best parts about Boba Fett were the parts that were nothing to do with Boba Fett. I love that scene. We addressed this comment already. Mike says, okay, so I missed a good chunk of the stream because of a work call and I'm putting my phone down. Basically, we took the piss out of you for the last half an hour. That's what we did, Mike. So, you didn't miss much. You can go back and watch it in the replay. Only joking, mate. I was at Celebration last year, got Ewan McGregor to sign my episode 1 lightsaber. Excellent. Cool. Very cool. T-Ria, that's awesome. He's the coolest. He interacts with lots of fans. Super stuff. Guess I have a fring, I presume you're talking about there. That's what I'm going to call him. KS says, T-Ria, at mine last year in Texas, he walked through the line of fans, talked for a bit while signing, and he stays. That's really cool.
Wicked.
That is really cool. Tragedy Tales, what is this event? I presume that's a joke. Star Wars Celebration 2023. It happens usually every 2 years, but with a COVID, this was already booked, so there was one last year, and this year 2020 I think one of them got pushed back, and then this one happened. So, and they rotated, so it's in London this year, and sometimes it'll be in, I think, LA, New York, something like that. Paid in 23. If we got these drops today, imagine what we get for May 4th. Yeah, you're going to get a bill. That's what you're going to get. Tyria, exactly. I was expecting to be super serious. Boba Fettuccine is here. Now I'm hungry. And okay, we're up to date. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Just I'll flick through the photos. You can tell me to move on or stop or whatever. But
I think it's awesome. I think it's like you say, it's a shrunk down version of the quarter scale, but it looks stunning. I mean, this is for me. My favourite Vader is the Empire Vader, just because of the dome shape. I love that. The Empire Strikes Back is my favourite Star Wars film. I love the fight with Luke. Is my favourite scene in all of Star Wars. With the Bespin Luke. So when I get both of them, that's for my thing. What I'm interested with this one is because there is I think there's a slight difference between the dome between this Vader and the Empire Vader. If I'm right, I think there is. I might be wrong. I know. Obviously, he wears. This might be slightly different, but there's every film has slight differences. What I like about this is that obviously it's a few years newer than the Empire one. So I hope they've sorted out the hands, because the hands are so frustrating. I don't know about you, but does yours pop off every time try?
I don't own a Vader.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
And my logic was, I thought they were going to go a little deeper into the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary. They only did 4.
Too,
I picked up Boba Fett. I picked up the Luke, Snowspeeder Luke, and Lando. And I was tempted to pick up the 40th anniversary Vader. And at the time, the options were that or the Empire Strikes Back Vader, which was non-40th anniversary. Just same. Well, it wasn't the exact same. I think there was a railing that lit up with that.
Yeah.
Or the Rogue One. And everywhere I looked, everyone who had it in hand and reviews, they were saying go Rogue One. And when I checked for Rogue One, the price was maybe retail plus another 50%, or maybe twice the price. And I was like, okay. This is about maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, okay, box clever here. 40th anniversary is coming up. They're not going to let that go by without a Vader. So just sit in your hands, wait, and here we are. But in between that, we had that amazing drop from Kenobi, which I have on order. And I know a lot of people are going to cancel that now. And,
Oh, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Because they're so.
I wouldn't judge.
Good.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't judge.
Yeah.
Some people they're not in a position to have 2, or they just want a definitive one. I think this one here, if I was to pick one, it would be this one. But I'm probably going to get the 2 of them. I have the
Yeah, I think with this one, I heard on the stream before, because it's original trilogy, it's got that sort of thing. The one I do like about the Kenobi one is obviously the battle damage, which looks amazing.
Yes.
I've got a rule of 1 character per figure, so I don't have multiple characters, so I can only choose 1. So
spoken like a true veteran.
Yeah, because it's really weird. I've got like a bit of OCD with it. I don't like having like 3 Lukes and things like that. And
fair.
So I actually haven't got a Luke at the moment, so I'm waiting for the Bespin Luke. But it's weird because obviously I love my Empire one, and if this one has got slightly better, you know, sort of like say the hands are better, because the hands are so frustrating when you're trying to pose. They just pop off all the time. It's so annoying. I'd probably update to this one. However, I do like the battle damaged, the option of that, if you know what I mean. So the only thing I would say, if people are used to buying and selling, and well, I don't know about like you and I, but you know, I'm a wheeler and dealer, so to speak, with loads of things. You could always get the Kenobi one in first, and then see what the reviews are like, because this is going to be obviously 2 years away, or you're going to get the Kenobi one before this, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you can always
Kenobi,
do that.
I think, is due like the 3rd or 4th quarter of this year.
Yeah.
Just going to check Sideshow just to make absolutely sure. So
I would, if you want to do that way, you know, go for this, because I think people may cancel this. However, it's such an epic figure. I mean, look at it now. Look at the head sculpt and the battle damage stuff. I mean, that is epic. Do you know what I mean? So I would rather have. I know this is me saying.
That's the photo there.
That is, and I'm an original trilogy guy.
Yeah.
You know, I still love all the other bits, but I'd rather have that head sculpt than the Sebastian Shaw one, if you know what I mean. Just because he never actually had his head off like that in the film.
No, this, you know, so this could be posed like this with nothing else around it. You wouldn't need to complete a line. This could be just an amazing looking Vader. Yeah, I will not be cancelling this, and I'll more than likely.
And you can always sell it, Shane. You can always sell it down the line. Vader seems to keep the. I mean, I have noticed. You were talking about the Empire one. I've seen quite a few on the groups lately that have been going for reasonably priced.
And you're going to see more of that now. There's going to be everything's going to drop. Yeah. Empire, 40th anniversary Empire, maybe even Rogue One. Maybe Rogue One.
I had the New Hope one.
Won't take as much of a hit.
With the talking, had the voice box thing in. That one, the very first one they did.
Did it still work when you sold it?
To be honest, do you know what? I used it once. I never. I don't put the lights in the arms and all that rubbish. You know, I don't do that. Even with the Iron Man, when I had Iron Man, I didn't. Put
life's too short.
Just can't be bothered, because I never use it anyway. But I think.
Oh, sorry. You just reminded me there. Like, speaking about lights and stuff like this, I got one of these in today.
Oh wow!
It's a CCFL from Art 15 Custom. I literally just plugged it in just to see if it works. I haven't reviewed it or anything yet. So this tiny wires, very easy to hide, plugs into this hub. You can plug two of these into the hub, and then the hub connects into another thing, and eventually you get a plug.
Go on then.
And a remote control. Actually, one second. I'll plug it in and I'll give it a go.
Have you done it yet? Have you plugged it in?
I have, yeah. I have.
Oh, right.
I haven't. Sorry, the plugs are underneath here. 1 second, I'll get this done. You can just entertain the people there, please.
So this is a step from Darth Vader's the Emperor's throne room sort of thing. I do like this dial, actually. I think it's really nice. I think it'll be interesting to know if they do if they do release a Luke Skywalker Jedi, a re-release of that, if they do something to go with this diorama base, so you can put them together. Be interesting. Welcome back.
Thank you. I think actually I left the most uninteresting part of the entire set on screen, and you did a great job. I've been talking about these steps a lot. I already recorded the video, my kind of like pre-order preview video of C3PO and Darth Vader, but I wanted to go live. I haven't edited them yet, so when I finish this I will edit and post them. But I went on about the steps a good bit because I just really like it. Yeah. It's a very simple, versatile type of display base. I mean,
they are coming up with some good ideas with their bases lately, aren't they? So this here again, it's a Luke Skywalker Return to Jedi or Mandalorian green lightsaber CCFL by Art 15 Customs. I will review it, but I just took it out of the box today, and here it plugs into this little hub. You can put two of these into this, and I plugged it in with a standard plug, so I hope it actually works on screen here now. So just holding it now, and I've got the little wireless remote, and there we go. Oh wow!
So there we go.
Oh yeah, it's well bright. Yeah,
it actually looks like to me here it looks green, but it's coming across as white.
Yeah.
On the on the camera, it's weird. It's like it's completely green here, but I can see it in the screen as well, and it's more like Ahsoka's.
Is it? It gets quite hot. They get hot, don't they?
I haven't had it on long enough to see, but I've been told that you can adjust the brightness as well. So if I just press like 100%, so like that's 25%. So I presume less light, less wasted heat energy, and then the 50%, it's gone a bit brighter, and then the 100%. Actually is quite bright, like down to 20%, and then you can turn it off. So I'll be able to come in and just I should be able to come in and just kind of go, just turn it on. And I think that's pretty damn. I get excited about these little things.
But no, they look great.
That is the plan. I'm going to move that to the side now. That is the plan to Mando Luke, and just finalizing shipping details and stuff like that. With actually. 12-inch Moose Stream just wants to ask me to go solo here, so I'll try that again. That's actually a very good suggestion. Thank you. And I'll try to get that again. Okay, so this is what we have. So it is green. You can see it is green.
Yeah.
But I think the white light from the inside maybe overpowers it. But the camera obviously is not picking it up the way I can see it here. So it looks very, very white here, but it actually can assure you in hand, like it is really green. It's not white at all.
Is that expensive, Shane? Or
it is expensive. It is. That's 100% brightness now. I won't be leaving it like that. It's far too bright.
No.
I'd say 50%. I think is the sweet spot. But they weren't cheap. Yeah. So this Art 15 custom. I'm really happy with the service. I ordered it about 2 weeks ago. He said it would take about 6 weeks, but it came in 2 weeks. All in. For the lightsaber hilt, the blade, the little box it plugs into the plug, and the wireless remote, and delivery, it costs €165. So
that's not bad. No, that's good.
I actually think that's quite expensive, to be honest. But like, because if you have like 5 Jedis, whatever, that's going to add up, I
think nowadays everything's gone up. I mean, that's what I've heard. I've heard that around like 180. I've heard before that people have been paying for them for. So 160s. Okay, if you know what I mean. But they look great, and I always like to see people's videos and photos where they've got multiple Jedis and they're all on. They're great for that purpose as well, aren't they? Yeah,
I know Calvin, the low-key collector, has a few. I remember Easy Company collectibles, when he used to stream, they'd be in the back, and I was always really jealous because it looked really, really tasteful. I want to see if I can get the link for that website. He has a website. I want to make sure that I have it. And again, like literally, I just ordered this from him. I'm not getting any kickback or whatever like that. But I will be reviewing them, and if I like them, I will go again. So 1 second. Let's see if I can copy this.
I always find with those sort of things, though, it's the same when I get like some custom things done or like repainted heads. And then you think 160, well, that's a trooper. Do you know what I mean? You can get a trooper for 160, don't you?
Where are you picking up these cheap troopers?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm in the market at the moment for a tank trooper, and I've seen them go for 130, 140.
Yeah, definitely.
And the tank trooper and the what's the other Mando one?
The transport trooper.
Transport trooper. Yeah, that's been going for dirt cheap now.
That assault tank trooper is worth every penny.
Yeah, I want to do that because it's very different armor to everything else, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really cool looking trooper. Like I'm a trooper collector. I haven't picked one up in a while, but that clone trooper, it has the clone pilot. Sorry, no. I've no interest in the shiny. Oh, it's the clone pilot.
Shiny. Yeah, the clone pilot looks really good as well. I'm wondering if they'll do that. If you watch the Bad Batch, what are those ones that have got like the? Do you watch the Bad Batch? What are they called?
I haven't watched the Bad Batch.
It's the chat might be able to help. The ones at the Bad Batch that have been like in the cloning facility. I don't know if they look amazing. I'd love to see them, if you know what I mean. And it's like I always wanted to see the ones from Solo, the ones with the snow boots and everything. They never did those, did they?
I don't think so. Focus,
No,
not sure if I missed this, but I'm concerned about the brightness and longevity of the light-up helmet. I'm assuming that the helmet isn't USB. The only thing about that Deluxe Vader set that's USB is the lightsaber. Everything else is batteries, unfortunately, including the base. Winman says, although the original trilogy is in my top 3 films, I never got into Star Wars figures. Recently got my first 2, Lando and R2. But Jedi is my favourite, so bye-bye money. At least you have accepted your fate.
And you've started in a good way as well.
Yeah,
these
definitely.
two are going to be epic.
Original trilogy, yeah. Costa is here. If you haven't done so already, check out Pop Culture Living Room on YouTube. Gold C3PO. This is a droid I've been waiting for. This is the droid. I'm waiting until they inevitably announce that Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary or 2, because I just want the thumbnail to read, these are the droids that I've been looking for. It's just, I'm a simple man. Clone Commandos. Is that maybe what it was?
That's what it won. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll like them.
All right, so I've been talking too much. So you give me your thoughts on this C3PO.
Well, it's needed, isn't it? Because I think I still would have liked to have seen a New Hope one, but obviously we're on the 40th anniversary now. I like it. It looks weathered. It just looks great. It's die cast. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how many people are going to pick up the Attack of the Clones one now, because that's different. You can put the droid head on, and it's a certain scene. This is the ultimate one for a hot toy. I can never say it. The Tsunami Nations one. I've got the
Tamashii Nations.
That's it. I can never say it. Yeah. I've got that. So that's pure die cast, and that's probably one of the best figures I've ever. It's so heavy.
I've heard really nothing but good things.
Oh, it's amazing, man. It's amazing, but it's very clean, and obviously it's quite old. And I mean, it's still a grail to a lot of people. You know, it's more of a they're statues, aren't they? A lot of these sort of droid ones. But this is great. I think I may upgrade to this eventually when I see it and see the reviews and everything like that. I can't see this staying around too long. I think this will be a wait list. I think this will sell out because I think it's been needed for so long for OT collectors.
This on screen right now, this is what I want.
It's amazing.
The Attack of the Clones, as much as I admire them and did a video on both of them and I appreciate them, I don't collect prequels, and it's not the C3PO. I was happy with the release and stuff like that, and happy and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't the C3PO that I wanted. And I remember saying no, I'm waiting. It's inevitable. They're going to do a C3PO, if not for the 40th, for some other event or whatever. Maybe they'll just drop one. They have the R&D done. And I definitely remember a lot of YouTubers kind of going, no, you need to get this one. They mightn't. And I was like, no, I'm staying strong on that. And it's a cliche, but I'm glad I waited, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, this is going to be, I wonder how much it is. Is it up yet?
No, but the C3PO for Attack of the Clones is $330. Okay. This is die-cast. That was die-cast. But this probably has more die-cast. So I'm guessing 330 to 365. Yeah, in around then, I'd say,
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do a New Hope droid figures. I think Sideshow has a license. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
For me, the photo on screen is exactly how I want them posed.
Yeah.
So hopefully this R2 isn't the biggest tease ever, and that they just announced that to pre-order.
Is that the same as the other? Because I've still got the Force Awakens R2. I just got that.
I'll show you now how I know it's not the Force Awakens one. And now maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, of course, definitely.
See the way they have all these things. Yeah,
but they've already released this already, haven't they? Or is this a new one? Is this not the new?
This is the thing. I know this isn't the Force Awakens one, because the Force
Awakens
one
didn't do anything.
Stuff. Yeah, no. But the R2 they released a few years ago, which they branded just original trilogy, not like any particular, not any particular movie, just original trilogy, had a bunch of these things that popped out and stuff like this, very similar. But I think this looks more weathered. So I think maybe, maybe this is a new one that they just haven't dropped yet, and I hope that's the case.
I hope it is, because it's a great companion piece to C3PO. What I'm hoping it's not, though, is we are, like with Empire, we're getting a lot of reissues instead of new stuff. Like you know what I'm saying, don't you? It's like, I hope they don't go, well, you've had R2, you've had C3PO, you've had Darth Vader, you've had things like that.
So now we're going to give you a load of troopers.
Here's the Emperor again, and things like that. And I'm hoping. I mean, we are all wanting a Han and Chewie. They didn't do a Bespin, which I can't. I'm still, because that's my favourite look.
Yeah.
So they have to do a Han and Chewie Endor. Chewie looks quite a lot different in Return of the Jedi as well. His hair's a little bit more sort of centre part in and things like that.
It's kind of like what the show later on. Like, I wanted to do something on the eve of Star Wars Celebration, because I know that a lot of people, including myself, are going to be excited. And I do want to do it from. It won't be purely collecting, but there'll be a heavy influence on collecting, obviously. So, I want to go through and just do some predictions on things which I think could realistically happen, and then things that they probably should that it won't happen. When I saw this 40th anniversary logo, the first thing I thought was, well, they'll do a Vader, they'll do a Boba, they'll do some version of a Luke, and that will more than likely happen. After that, then I know what you're saying though. Surely this R2 is going to be maybe a weathered up version of the one that they did a few years ago, or maybe it's a straight reissue. I don't know. I don't think it looks like a reissue. It looks too weathered to be that one, because I remember that being cleaner. But I get what you're saying, because realistically, everyone wants that Endor Han in the trench coat, or any Han at this stage.
Well, I think Bespin would have been the one to go with Lando and Luke and Leia and everything like that. And also, what I wanted to do then as well is, if Chewie was going to come with C3PO on his back, I mean, that would have been awesome. Like the Bespin chase, where he's all like on the, on Chewbacca's back.
Yeah, this is an interesting comment. So, it is more weathered than yellow. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I presume, correct me if I'm wrong now, Costa, but when I saw this R2, I was thinking, nice one. That's the next announcement, surely. And when I looked at it, I was like, I know it's not the Force Awakens one. And I thought it had definitely had some similarities between this and the one that they did a few years back. So, but the one on screen looks more weathered to me. And so I presume that's what you're saying. It looks more weathered than yellow. I presume you're talking about the one on screen in the promotional images for C3PO. I'm looking at the R2 Deluxe now, and it's different. So that gives us hope then that it's not the exact same, that this should be one they'll do. So hopefully, and I suppose this ties in, maybe it has the barge, tray and drinks as well. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense, Yeah, thank you, Costa. You're saying all the right things.
I mean, it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan, though, isn't
Absolutely,
it? Absolutely, It's crazy what's coming out. If you look at all the Boba Fett, like Cad Bane, and you've got Ahsoka show, and Fennec Shan and Costa Reeves, and there's so much coming out. Before Kenobi, that and everything, more troopers. It's crazy. I mean, it's expensive as well. It's quite bad for how expensive everything's getting.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
you've
why
just got to be more choosy.
But that's why the things like only having one representation of each character is probably a good thing, and that's why say people having those decisions to cancel their Kenobi Vader and pick up this, I wouldn't judge anyone for that. I
just wouldn't be too hasty.
Yeah,
because I think that Kenobi Vader is going to blow people away.
Yeah,
and I think we've all had the Star Wars collectors. Most of us, not yourself, but most of us that have been in it a little while have had a New Hope Vader. They've had a Rogue One Vader. They've had a Empire. They've gone through it. Especially a lot of collectors I know of. They chop and change and sell on and things like that. But I think that the Kenobi Vader is pretty epic, like we talked about. So I think it'll be interesting to see how many people keep their pre-order first, because this is ages away. Like we said, I mean, the C3PO. Well, I suppose they might have the same parts for the Return of the Revenge.
18
Attack
months.
of the Clones.
If you think about it, it was this time last year when they announced the first wave of Episode 2 Attack of the Clone figures. So the Geonosis Battle Droid, the Shiny, the Clone Trooper, and then R2 and C3PO. We have the Shiny out now. That was less than a year. We have the Clone out now, less than a year, but they are clones. So, I mean, what would be telling is when those other three arrive. If they arrive within the next month or two, you could be thinking about a year turnaround. But if they don't see them till Christmas, then nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's
I like this. This is cool. Yeah. Good.
I think
It would be
Empire Strikes Back
interesting to
3PO.
see.
Yeah, it makes sense. This one here. This point
It
here.
would be interesting to see if they do a Jabba with this. If they would do that.
I would have been inclined to say no, but now that this little fella has turned up, Salacious Crumb, it is a little Easter egg, kind of a little. It could be a red herring as well, like, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, the sideshow one I haven't owned, but everyone I've spoke to said it's unbelievable. So perhaps they don't want it, because it is a statue mostly anyway, isn't it? It's not going to do much. You can't pose it too much. But
I get you. We're probably going to close it out there because I've got to go and edit the 2 videos that I recorded on C3PO.
I've got to get ready to go. We're going in an hour.
That works out perfect. Yeah. Well, just to thank you very much to everyone in the chat who's joined in and interacted and commented and stuff like that. Thanks very much to Dan. So looking forward to seeing Dan. You're there Friday and Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. See where you are on the day.
Good stuff.
Like I said, tomorrow is going to be a day of just wandering around and seeing. So I'll drop you a text tomorrow, man.
Sounds great. But to everyone who tuned in, thanks very much. And there will be a live stream tonight at 9 o'clock, and I'm hoping to rope some people into that. So it'll be 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 4 p.m. East Coast, and 1 p.m. West Coast. So yeah, that's out, those folks. See you later.
See ya.